Hello and welcome to Penny Imaging Exchange, where we provide wholesale B2B scanning services. Our focus is on being your backroom operation so that you don't have to set up your own scanning operation. This way you don't have to invest in personnel, equipment, and all the headaches that come with running your own operation. So let me show you some of the equipment that we have for you. Here we have some microfilm scanners. We scan both 16mm and 35mm microfilm. Now, in addition to scanning microfilm, we also create microfilm, and that's done over here. And that is done here on these machines here. We can generate 35mm as well as 16mm microfilm from your digital images. We can take color, grayscale, black and white images and write those to microfilm for archival purposes. Obviously, many state requirements require that microfilm be created as a backup, and we can do that for you on your behalf. So if you scan the documents and you want to then send us the images after the fact, we can create the microfilm for you on your behalf. We do have additional archive writers because we always do want to have backup equipment. You'll see that in almost all cases we have multiple pieces of the same equipment. So I'm going to show you the other archive writers that we have. Here we have two more archive writers, and as you can see here, we can create film with blips, no blips, and it could be in any orientation necessary. And we run 16mm here, and behind me here on this side, we're running fish scanning. We can scan here on source fish or com fish. We also can run positive fish, negative fish. We do have additional fish scanners as well, so let me show you that next. Okay, here we're scanning microfiche with a different type of equipment. As you can see here, the lens is actually moving and capturing image by image, making sure we pick up each image individually in a high quality grayscale image as well as black and white. In addition, there's a separate lens inside the camera. So this lens up here is actually digitizing the entire fiche. So we can pick up the entire fiche. You can use that for validating that everything's been scanned and for indexing purposes. Here we have aperture cards. We have a couple of aperture card scanners that we can use to capture this digital image that's on the aperture card. And we can also read the hollow rate data, the index data that's punched into the card. And we'll use that to generate a separate index file. So we'll give you both the index file as well as the scanned image. We do run our own microfilm processing lab, so let me show you that next. We run our own deep tank processors. We have our water filtering in place, chemical filtering in place, air filtering, and we have an automatic replenisher for the chemicals to ensure that we maintain the proper chemical mixture for the proper densities. And obviously we run our own step test on a regular basis every day to ensure that we're running at the proper densities. And we also get MetBlue testing done on a monthly basis by a third party. Okay. We also have one of the largest flatbed scanners in the world. Let me show you that next. This here is one of the largest flatbed scanners in the world, and we use it to digitize artwork, laminates, engineering drawing, wood, a whole variety of different materials that are oversized and that require a very high quality image with true dimensions. Because very often photography is used for large items, but it doesn't generate as high quality an image. It doesn't also generate an image that is at the proper dimensions for printing. This equipment allows us to do that. It's opened up a whole new market, new services that you can expand at your end to your customers. And we will actually capture a 600 dpi JPEG image as well as a TIFF image, a very big, large TIFF uncompressed file that can be used for editing purposes and for archival or for Photoshop needs. We do have more fish scanning equipment, so let me show you that next. This here is another fish scanner. This module actually comes off, so we can use this as a raw film scanner with the module for the film can be put in place. And again, one of the things we try to do is make sure we have multiple pieces of equipment for the same needs. So multiple scanners for fish, roll film, book scanners, aperture card scanners, large format scanning. We try to make sure we always have backup equipment for peak projects, high volume rush projects. When there's equipment maintenance required and so on, we always have a backup. In addition to the equipment you've seen so far, we also do bulk scanning, so let me show you that next. I'll give you one example of bulk scanning equipment. This is actually at this moment being used to scan very frail, delicate newspapers. This is actually from 1935. As you can see, the pieces are actually coming off. The paper is very frail. We have to handle it very delicately. And for that reason, we're using this type of equipment where it's much more delicate and the items is being held flat. And we also will use heating iron when necessary for crinkled edges or any part of the document that isn't laying flat. Here we have a larger bulk scanner. As you can see, it's got a much larger frame. And this is used for bound books, where we can capture bound books that must remain bound at all times. We do have additional other services, and let me show you that next. We do a lot of work with artists. This is a canvas print. Actually, it's a canvas original. The artist gave us this for printing purposes and for scanning purposes. So we actually digitized this, created a very high quality digital image for archiving at the proper dimensions and at the high DPI. Once the artwork is scanned, we can then print it. We can generate a high quality print on acrylic or any other materials. This is an example of the acrylic. We can also take your digital photographs, professional photographs, photographs of an event, photographs that you have on your cell phones. And we can print that as well on most any material. Again, this is an example of acrylic. Our focus is on B2B services, so we're unique, and you haven't seen it all. We got a lot more to show you. Our focus is on developing long-term mutual beneficial relationships. So feel free to contact us. We know that if we help each other on a B2B business level, we can all grow and develop trusting relationships. For our goal is to develop a mutually trusting relationship with our customers and a long-term relationship that can benefit all parties. So we got some more equipment, more services, and technology we want to show you, and that's coming up in the next video. In the meantime, feel free to contact us. Be glad to discuss your needs. We can start with a small project, get to know each other, understand each other's services and needs and expectations, and hopefully develop a long-term trusting relationship. Thank you for your time.